Fast leak. Fast leak. Uh-oh.
That's the one that got patched, I think.
Uh-oh. This is the one that's down to 80?
Yeah.
Fast leak. Interesting. So it's on the back on my side?
Yeah. That's the one that had the that I took into Aho and got patched.
Oh, we have a spare.
Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV and Boat. Well, we finally moved away from the area down near Aho, Arizona, and we've been starting our trek northbound. Was gonna go and camp right around Quartzsite for a day or so before we moved any further. But along the way, I had a little issue with one of our tires. Developed a fast leak. Thankfully, my tire pressure monitoring system in my HaloView rear view monitor system alerted to me, so I was able to pull over and correct the situation, put on my spare before I had any problems like a blowout or anything. That's the tire there. So it was inflated to around 76 pounds. Usually when it's running warm it's about 87. Suddenly the monitor started flashing and it was already down to around 80 pounds, and then I watched it go down to nearly 60 before I found a place to pull over. So I'm going to have to replace the tire. I've decided to replace all the tires, all four. I had plans to do that anyway. These ones are pretty worn down tread-wise. And you can see where the problem was right here. I picked up a nail in there, or a screw, and it made a little tiny hole in the tire. So, rather than, I was near Quartzsite, but I decided to come to this area right around Ehrenberg, Arizona, just on the border of California near Blythe. This place is fairly popular in the winter time, but everybody's pretty well taken off. See, we got some pretty dramatic clouds today. I think tomorrow we might even get some rain. It's been kind of a breezy day today. Fairly warm though. Right around 76 Fahrenheit. Anyway, I came over here because over in the town of Blythe, over that way, there's a tire shop. I think it's Standage Tires, and they're a Goodyear dealer. So I called them up and had them order me. Only takes a day or two to get the tires, so have them order me some Goodyear Endurance tires. That's the ones I use on the rig, and they've worked out pretty well. They're a good quality tire. They're made in the USA, speed rated 87, and I could always tell they're good even when they're not even inflated. Like the one I have is fairly flat and it's still pretty sturdy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off two at a time. So I'll jack up, put two jacks under, and take two tires in, and then have them change that, and then come back, put the new tires on, and take another two in, rather than take the whole trailer in. Just easier for me. I'd rather change them myself. And then I'll also get them to take the best tire I have and flip it over onto my spare rim. I have one tire that's a 2023, because I did have one of these where I ran over something and took a big chunk of rubber off the tire, and I had changed it in 2023, so have them switch out the spare. Anyway, always something, isn't it? But it's good to be prepared. with that tire pressure monitoring system alerted me, and I carry a bottle jack, and I have an impact gun, torque wrench, that sort of thing. I was able to easily change it myself and get back on the road. Funny enough, I had just done the bearings and brakes in a previous video, so I was all ready to go. I had lots of practice changing the tires. Anyway, let's go to town and get some new tires. These are the main tools I carry. A good 20-ton bottle jack seems to do the work quite easily, lifting the trailer tire to change it. Then I have an impact gun. Also I have an older, cheaper torque wrench that I mainly use now as just a breaker bar. And I have this really nice DeWalt. It's nice and long, because I found, especially on the truck tires, they take about 150 pounds. So it's nice to have a nice, really long one for the final torque setting, since it's a lot easier to handle than a shorter one. Okay, so I brought 3 tires back and put them on, and then took off the spare that was on there. So now I'm headed back with the 4th tire and the spare and get them to change the spare over. Like I said, I got a 2023 tire and the spare is 2017. Looks in good shape, but at that age it could be rotted out on the inside, so might as well get them to change it over while I can. So I'll just give you a look at where we're camped. This is Ehrenberg BLM, and it's just near the border of Arizona and California, right where Interstate 10 goes through and it crosses the Colorado River. The river is the border. So we're on the Arizona side here. I think this is where people will have the Schoolie Palooza. All these school bus campers come here, and they gather for a big festival kind of deal, gathering. Just a little bit after the big Quartzsite show, I think it happens, because there's just so much room here. Free camping for 14 days. Pretty easy to get in and out too. Although it can be windy at times. We came in and yesterday there was a pretty good storm. Thankfully it rained first, and that knocked all the dust down. So it didn't blow around too bad. I set up the rig on my stabilizers. I locked them in, and luckily we were pointed towards the wind. It was a kind of a southwest wind straight into us, so not too much rocking back and forth. It was pretty steady, around 30 miles an hour. We gust up to maybe 40 or 50 at times, but it's kind of quieted down today. Just a cloudy, overcast day. A little bit of a breeze now and then. But you can see there's hardly anybody left here that's actually here for camping. In the winter it's really crowded. But people here are mostly just, I don't know, maybe kind of local people that camp and maybe work in town, work in the fields. There's a lot of farming around here, so it might be a cheap way for them. Some people get kind of like embedded here, so I don't know if the BLM comes along and clears them out or what the story is. Or maybe they're just on the border of the BLM land, because they all seem to be right close to the entrance and not very far in. Anyway, it's kind of a sort of a rough road here. A lot of ATV traffic on the weekends, and right now it's spring break, so I noticed yesterday in the evening there was a lot of ATVs buzzing around. I guess they head off into the mountains. There's lots of trails towards the mountains over there. Anyway, the road's not in too bad a shape this year. Sometimes it can get quite washboarded or lumpy, but looks like it's been graded pretty good, decently. Recently, I mean. Graded decently, recently. There's some really big washes in here. We're camped next to one. I picked a spot above a big wash just in case we did get a lot of rain. But this ground soaks it up pretty quick. We didn't get much mud or puddling. It's a very rocky soil. Not really that much kind of clay that you would sink down in unless you had a super heavy rig. And in the last few years they've been processing rock or something here and making sand just down here. Sometimes you hear, I guess here about 2 years ago, and this thing was kind of crushing rock, and it was kind of, you could hear it, but I haven't heard much lately. Go in and out, backing out sand and gravel, I guess. They call this road primitive, not well maintained sort of deal. Once we get out here to near where the plant is, the plant keeps it pretty well graded for their trucks. It used to be quite washboarded before there was this kind of industry going on here. But now that they have an active kind of thing going on, I see a lot of kind of gray sand piles and black sand piles. Truck getting loaded up. So yeah, it takes you maybe 10 minutes to get out of here just because you can't go very fast. Well, you could if you want to beat up your truck, but usually take it easy. Here's the nice graded road. So this spot comes right up on, I guess, mile marker 1. There's a couple truck stops and gas stations there right at where Ehrenberg Highway 95, I think it is, heads north from it. And if you go to the east, maybe 15 miles, you hit the quartzite. Kind of goes up over a ridge through a little bit of hills and stuff, and then goes down into quartzite. Looks like this truck has some dividers, medians, concrete medians. Maybe they make those there too. And you get right near the interstate, there's lots of real sketchy looking RVs. Kind of homeless encampment deal. I don't know why they can't move those people out, but a lot of burnt up RV and RVs with all kinds of crap around it and garbage. So if you do come in here, don't worry. Some people probably come into this site and go, okay, I'm not camping here, but they all seem to like congregate right next to the interstate here. So fuel over here, Arizona, you can get it under $3. I think a little bit further back I saw it for $3.49 a gallon, I think. As soon as you cross the river and go into Blythe in California, it jumps right up to $5. I don't even know how those fuel stations in Blythe stay in business, but there's a bunch of them, so I don't really understand that. Yeah, I don't think they made these. They look older. Must have been just picking them up. Now we'll head west a bit on Interstate 10. And right away we're going to get a slowdown. As soon as you cross the bridge into California, there's an inspection station. So they're looking for fruits and vegetables and stuff going into California. They don't want anything that would contaminate their agriculture, so it's kind of an agriculture checkpoint. But generally, you go through without even being talked to, unless they're looking for something, I guess. A lot of the trucks probably get checked, but most of the passenger vehicles just get waved through. And there we go, the mighty Colorado River. It heads south down through Cibola National Wildlife Refuge and then ends up down the Imperial Dam area till it ends up all the way down to Yuma and then out into Mexico. Used to irrigate all the crops down there. It. Welcome to California. So I'm going to stay in the right lane and take my first exit because I know there's a bunch of construction going on that's slowing up the traffic as it goes to a single lane. Oh well, I've got lots of time, nothing to do today. Change tires. We'll probably leave tomorrow. It's supposed to be kind of a crappy day today anyway, so we'll just hang out there and take off tomorrow, start heading a bit more northbound. I think we're going to get up maybe into Nevada somewhere. somewhere still in the lower elevations, because it's still not super warm up in the higher elevations yet. Probably step up to around 2,000 feet or so. Just a nice spot where it's not too hot and not too cold. Yeah, we'll probably take this Highway 95, fairly decent 2-lane highway, right in the back road, so take us up to Needles. Sure, a lot of snowbirds that come down here will recognize all this. There's a lot of people that stay in Quartzsite. Thousands and thousands of them. A lot of them will come over to Blythe to do shopping. There's an Albertsons supermarket, a few other drugstores and things. Yeah, over here, not far away, 5 minutes, $4.99 for diesel. There's an interesting little joint here, Steaks and Cakes. Never gone there, but looks like an interesting little eatery. This is an odd little town. It looks like at one point it was on kind of the old road, went through here, and kind of like a Route 66, but not Route 66. And they have lots of kind of old hotels and weird old signs and rundown buildings that are still standing. Like there's Burton's Mobile Home and RV Park. But a lot of it's really gone downhill. Cheap place probably to live. Most of its economy is all the farming around here now, and it's beside an interstate, so there's lots of fast food places and stuff like that. And pretty close to the Colorado River there's some recreation that happens, mostly probably in the summer when it's hot. People go and stay along the river. Yeah, lots of old motels. This is kind of the center of town. They sort of tried to fix it up with sidewalks and landscaping. here's where I'm going. Goodyear's Standage Tire and Auto. So I've had pretty good luck with them over the years. I think this is my third set of tires I got from them. Had another set of Goodyear and a set of something called Safaro tires back in the day. And they've done oil changes and stuff. Busy place. Anyway, there we go. Good to have some new shoes on the old Cougar for our trip back north. Total bill came to $947, including balancing them and taxes and everything. So not too bad. Well, we drove today a little bit. Just pulled over for a little lunch at a Nevada State Park. Retorqued the wheels, make sure nothing's come loose. They're aluminum mag wheels, so they say after 30-40 miles you should check them again. And everything's been fine. New tires are holding air. My bearings are working well, brakes working well, so everything's back in ship shape. Till next time, Ray from Love Ya RV and Boat. Cheers, guys.